Welcome to the Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast with your hosts, Josh Kimmel, Dave Campbell, and Justin Bowerly.
Welcome to Once Upon a Sunday Fantasy Football Podcast. I'm your host, Josh, and we are coming to you live on this beautiful Friday afternoon. This is the last official podcast show for the regular season of the year. We have one more show after this. It's the award show. We're going to hand out our awards. We're working on a moderator. It's going to be super, super fun, so stay tuned for that. This is an Ask Us Anything edition of the show. Anything you want, any questions you may have, filter on in. Let your friends know that we're live here. But before we go any further, let's get Justin Bowerly in here. And I want to ask him something. I want to ask him how his fantasy matchups went last night, even though I preached on this show yesterday. Do not start your Thursday night players. So, Justin, come on in here, man. Don't be shy. Bring it on in. We're all family.
I had no choice to start Geno Smith. I had to start Geno Smith. That's the problem. So he sucked. I'm
So also, if you're tuning in, you're watching us via X or via YouTube on the Finstock Sports Network, come on over to OUSFF Pod on your YouTube, OUSFF Pod. It's not hard to find. We're up there. We're growing, 500 plus strong subscribers. Want a little bit more? We got some big things cooking, and you're going to want to be a part of it. Trust me on that. So, Justin, did you watch from kickoff to end of that disaster of a game last night?
I watched 0 seconds of that game last night. We were doing a puzzle, which seemed to be way more important than watching that god-awful 6-3 match last night. Soccer game, I think is what they call it. 6-3, it's so low scoring.
Whoa.
Baseball?
6 goals in a game, bro? You mean 6 goals in a season? Come on, bro.
No.
Soccer ain't scoring 6 goals in a game, dude.
Nobody
scoring 6 goals in a game.
If you've never seen a 6-3 game, you don't know what you're missing.
I think the Major League Soccer record
hockey, maybe baseball game last night. I don't know what was going on in Chicago, but it was not football. I saw the Apple Sports app kept updating me because I follow the Bears, and I'm just 3-0. Oh, into the first quarter. Oh, into the second quarter. It's 6-0. 6-3. End of game. That was it. I got 5 updates last night. I'm just this is awful. No, I had to start some players last night. I had to make some business decisions. Roma Dunze was in a league. He got me 3 points at the very end of the game. So at least I didn't get a dud there. While I have 15.5 points from Pat Freiermuth on my bench, that sucked. Let's see. I don't think I played a single team that has a Bears or Seahawks player, so that really is a bummer.
It's because you have
yeah, something like that. I had Geno as a super flex player in 2 championship games.
Woo. 17 for 23.
And the most productive player from last night's game being DeAndre Swift sitting on my bench.
Oh, I started Swift last night in a league in a third. I'm in a million.
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I lost a lot of matchups last week, so I'm in a lot of third place games, and they do pay out. So, but I didn't set lineups. I didn't care. I don't care. I left Swift in the lineup, and I'm like, oh, cool. You got me 11 points. Cool, sweet. That's it. That was my reaction of last night's game.
The league is the name that we are in the championship against Marco. I think for end of the show.
Oh yeah, Marco.
We were within 4 points of each other. I was projected to only lose by 4 points, maybe 3 points going into last night. I'm now projected to lose by 20. So
it's all good. Projections mean nothing.
Geno Smith, you little piece of shit.
Ooh.
But I mean, to be fair, I was also projected to lose 9 of my 12 semifinal match, or 9 of whatever.
Yeah. I'll say
7 of 9 semifinal matchups, and I ended up winning 6 of them. So
projections mean nothing, especially on Sleeper. Yeah. They're the worst. They're the worst site They're the worst app, the worst. They're the worst at everything they do.
For sure.
The only reason why we play over there, is because it's free. If MFL was free, I'd be jumping all my teams back to MFL.
And if they had like a web developer that has
I would still move
since 1992.
Shout out to Rob Norton. The Baby Bowl's going on strong. I got my invite yesterday in the email, and you know what the Baby Bowl is? You know what that is?
No.
All right. Well, I'm in it, and it's you don't have to. It's not hard to get in. You just contact him and you just give him $20. But I was refreshing because I'm auto winning every year, and I got the email. I'm like, oh, I forgot about the Baby Bowl because I'm not on Twitter anymore. Oh, cool, let's go. And then Rob DMs me, hey, bro, like I sent you an invite again, just send me the $20. Like, all right, cool, because it goes to charity. And I'm like, oh, MFL. I logged in. I'm like, it was nostalgia. It was like, this is what I live for, MFL. It's so nice to be back to a working website with the real fantasy rules. Guess what? MFL, you know what MFL does? They automatically read because they understand how fucking fantasy football works. Unlike Sleeper, 1 and 4 are going to play and like 2 and 6 are going to play. No, 6 should play the 1 seed, idiots, Sleeper. It should be the default. Yes, you could fix it, but it's not the default. The default mouth breathers. That's all I'll say. Sleeper is the way. That's how I feel about Sleeper. That's just how I feel. But they're free. And they have a built-in chat, which is good. MFL doesn't have any of that. MFL was charging like $40, I feel like, last year. I can't remember, but it was
expensive and that was annoying.
So this year, a lot of my teams a lot of my leagues are happy that we're adding more money to the prize pool because we don't have to pay MFL. So that's the main reason. Anyway.
Yeah, that's fair. No, there's some MFL settings that I found after 1-2 years playing on MFL that I would like to see come over to Sleeper. Having multiple players, like you can have duplicate players in the league, that would be nice for the larger leagues. Mm-hmm. The auction system needs to be better in Sleeper. I will admit that because it is brutal right now. So yeah. This again, guys, if you are watching us right now, ask us literally any question. It could be fantasy related, it could be not fantasy, it could be next year, this weekend, all of the things. We're here to answer whatever question you want. If you're on Twitter, you can also ask questions. I'm pretty sure you can leave a comment and we will see it and can answer it. So that's a new thing that Twitter X can do. So if you're out there watching there, but yeah, Jerome Ford is projected 10 points on Sleeper. He scored 18 and 24 the last 2 weeks since Nick Chubb's been hurt. So I'm feeling confident that he will bring back my deficit of being down 20. So hopefully he can double his projection. Hopefully Downs, who's projected 10 points, can double his projection. Might be Joe Flacco this week.
Hold up there. I'm going to ask you this. Now, as a person who... And to the people watching right now on X, YouTube, and so wherever you're watching, this applies to you as well. When you're down bad, when you have a Thursday night game, or let's say you had an early game in the fantasy week, like let's say you had a Saturday game last week and your players didn't play up to expectations, I feel like you can't play it safe. There's no more safety net. You need to shoot for the moon. If you had a Caleb Williams last night, or if you had DJ Moore or any of these Zach Charbonnet, which I told everyone yesterday, please don't do it. But if you have to, you have to. I get it.
You have to.
I told everyone yesterday, please don't start any of these players. It's just Thursday night games are a stay away game for me every week, no matter what. You got to shoot for the moon. You can't go, oh, you know what, Jerome Ford this or you need big time players to make up for this deficit. Do you have any big time players that you are suggesting people to maybe plug in their lineups if they are at a fault or if they are down bad because of trust me, there's so many people in your situation right now that started Keenan Allen because he was hot, that started Caleb Williams, that started, Geno Smith or JSN. JSN was one of the hottest receivers going into last night. I started JSN in a third place game. Not worried about it. Don't give a fuck about the $50, but I started JSN last night. I need to shoot for the moon now because he only scored me 6 points. Like, do you have any players or recommendations or who we think we should play?
I'm looking at a specific lineup right now to see what can I do here. And I scrolled down into my bench and I was like, okay, I actually have a pretty decent bench. I've got guys like Jacoby Myers, Khalil Shakir sitting on my bench right now. I looked at this one guy who plays on Monday Night Football against the 49ers, Jameson Williams.
Oh yeah, that's high upside.
Sitting on my bench right now. The last 3 weeks, 13, 12.7, 26. He's been doing pretty good. And I'm like, well, you know what? I'm down 20. Might as well. I mean, I could slot him in for Josh Downs. That's probably a better play right there. It's a move that I think I'm going to go. Now, this show is not, if you're watching and tuning in, this is not help Justin fix his roster so he can win a championship. This is a real ask me anything. So be sure to ask the questions. But yeah, so Josh, would you start Josh Downs against New York on a Sunday with maybe an Anthony Richardson, maybe a Joe Flacco, or would you start Jameson Williams?
See, I would start. Yeah, I would start
on Monday night.
I would start Jameson Williams for the reason why I said. Remember yesterday I said I like primetime players. I like players, especially in primetime for your championship game. There's nothing like it. Winning that game with like Jameson just needs one more catch. He just needs one more catch, and boom, he hits it. You know you won. That's cool.
On the same team. I do have George Kittle as well. So on both sides of the ball, I have a guy catching the ball.
So you could be cheering for both. So in that situation, I'm going JMO because of the high upside. Now we have one question in the chat right here: Jacoby Myers or Jalen Waddle? Don't trigger me, Justin. Take it away because I don't want to get triggered right now.
Dude, Ryan, this is not good.
I'm not.
You know, we've had our moments with Jalen Waddle this season, and Josh doesn't want to be triggered. So this is a me question. So I have Jacoby Myers in several leagues. I like Jacoby Myers. He has done very well this season until recently, where he's started his production has gone down every single game since week 12 when he scored 22 points. We saw 22, 15, 13, 10, and now 6 last week against the Jacksonville Jaguars, which should have been an easy win. They got New Orleans this week. They have a semi-tough defense. It's not the easiest thing to get around, but they do have a pretty decent defense. Flip side, Jalen Waddle is going to Cleveland, where the Miami Dolphins cannot play in the snow, cannot play in the cold weather, period. And it is the winter, so I don't really trust any Miami Dolphin on the road late in the season, period. I cannot see how you can look at that game and think, coming off of an injury, being off basically for 2 weeks, to go against Cleveland and say, yeah, he's going to be the guy. Jacoby Myers is the wide receiver one, second target really behind Brock Bowers. He's still going to get his targets. I think you still have to lean on Jacoby Myers this week.
Yeah, I don't hate that. And I will add in something. Since, before his injury, Jalen Waddle did start turning it on. Weeks 12 through 14, he was getting targeted. He was getting points. He was double-digit points in both those weeks. He finished 2 of the 3 weeks. He finished wide receiver 1 in 2 of the 3 weeks as well. He has been on quite a little bit of a run, but just a small run. If you look at his entire season, weeks 2 through weeks 11, single-digit fantasy points. Most of that was due to the quarterback position. Most of that was due to not having Tua. A lot of it was him. Jalen Waddle to me is one of those boom bust players. Like if you're down bad and you started one of these Caleb Williams or Keenan Allen or anyone else, yes, start Waddle. This is actually a good transition because he's one of those boom players you want. Jacoby Myers, very safe. He's going to get you double digits, possibly, maybe, most likely. But he's not going to boom you for that 20 to 30 point game like Waddle could. So it depends on your roster and how you are down. What's going on, Bobby?
Yeah, Bobby's got some input also. You can't trust Waddle to finish the game and get the reps. And he's also the 4th option behind David Achane, Jonnu Smith, and Tyreek Hill. So
I'm not getting triggered. There's 2 things that trigger me on this network. It's Charlotte Flair and it's Jalen Waddle. And I'm not doing it. I'm not falling for it anymore. I'm done.
So some news that have come out within the last half hour. Jalen Hurts remains in concussion protocol, and it's, quote, it's going to be tough for him to make it this week. So if you have Jalen Hurts, I hope you have a backup option. Josh, maybe it was a good thing you lost last week in the semifinals. James Conner is trending in the right direction for Saturday versus the Rams, so that's good. So that guy who we told to maybe put him in the flex if he's playing, this is good news for you. You should be able to put him in there. And Kate Otten and Sterling can't catch a ball in front of me. Shepard have been ruled out for week 17.
Right in the numbers. 2 times in a row. Like 2 drives in a row.
Like
right
that's just as bad as Quentin Johnston. Like literally Quentin had the ball right here in his hands, could not catch it. So
could not catch it. Could not.
I love watching like the still pictures of Quentin Johnson like going to catch a ball and they're like, this is an incompletion. And you're like, what?
We need to ban Bobby from the chat. I can't take it. Dude, I'm going to SmackDown tonight. I'm trying to have a good time. I'm already in a lull because I'm just upset about fantasy right now.
Do I need to put him on timeout? Put user in timeout?
Oh boy. I can't wait for tonight though. I'm going to go to SmackDown. I bought the expensive like all you can eat, all you can drink tickets. See what happens when Josh gets a little scratch. I get an email from my ticket rep and she's like, SmackDown, December 27th. I'm like, oh, I forgot. SmackDown or Raw always comes during Christmas because they all live here, so they don't want to travel. That's why they book it here. It's always terrible shows. Always terrible shows because it's always Legends Night, which Bobby would love because he's a mark for that, but I'm not. It's always terrible. But all you can eat, all you can drink for the low price of only $175. I couldn't pass that up. A ticket, by the way. Couldn't pass it up. So I'll be at SmackDown tonight, screaming my ear off, head off, whatever. And I can't wait to go, whoa, with everybody else. If you get it, you get it. I can't wait. That's all I had to say. I'm excited for tonight. I'm taking my son. That's it. Can we just talk wrestling for Bobby? I can't wait for tomorrow, by the way. Cheap plug, tomorrow night, 8 p.m., Finn's Talk Sports Network, no holds barred, live. The boss, Bobby, the immortal one, and myself, we are doing our wrestling awards show. We will give out all of our awards to every single wrestler. Match of the year, feud of the year, rivalry of the year, which is kind of the same as feud of the year, and many, many more. So tune in for that. We're always live. We have a good time. Any more fantasy news you want to break, Justin?
That's it at the moment. I was just looking at playoff matchups, like real playoff matchups that are coming up. And teams that could potentially clinch this week. There's not a lot. I think the Commanders could actually clinch with a win this week. Who do they play? This should be a good fantasy matchup. Oh, they play Atlanta. That's right. So Atlanta needs the win to stay in the divisional hunt. And Tampa obviously needs the Commanders to lose. Tampa also finishes the season against the Panthers and Saints. So Tampa should hopefully win out, but they're going to have to like really put these games away. So
yes. Looking at fantasy matchups here, in that Tampa Bay game specifically against Carolina, you would think like, oh, they should win that one easily. We forget Bryce Young and the Panthers have been playing pretty good football.
Been playing pretty good. Yeah.
Pretty good football, which means it's going to be a competitive matchup, I believe, which means good things for Mike Evans. I would not be surprised if they force feed everything to Mike Evans and he's the wide receiver 1 this week. I didn't rank this week. I'm sorry. Christmas week. I took a vacation. Although Justin's shaking his head. Next, there was already what? How many games played this week? I ain't got time. I do have time.
Or 2 games played before when we talked about it yesterday. So
yeah, for all intents and purposes, since the NFL and everything wants to move to Netflix, I don't want to change. I like my cable, so I don't even acknowledge those games. They didn't exist. I barely even watched them, only because it's on Netflix. I'm sorry. I know LeBron said, "Oh, the NBA runs in Christmas," and they got like beat by, I think, 20 million viewers. But I wasn't one of them because I don't stream my sports. It's ridiculous.
Jose cannot trust Connor. I'm assuming James Conner.
Yeah.
That's fair. I mean, he is injured, so. But like I said, he is trending in the right direction. So
the dude plays banged up all the time. Like he always plays up. He's been the wide receiver 1 since week 13.
Knee injuries. 77% chance to play this week now. So,
and again, he scored 20. He scored 20 or more points in the past 3 weeks. He is the running back 1 since week 13, which I bring that up because that's your playoff push plus your playoff matchups. he's been a league winner for you. The only person that's even close to him right now, I mean, there's 3 players, there's 4 players above 21 points per game since the playoffs have started, including week 3, which is your playoff push. You got Bijan Robinson at 4, 21.1 points per game. Achane at 3, 21.4 points per game. Josh Jacobs at 22.2, and then James Conner at 22.7. So they're all lumped in together. Then you have the Chase Browns and Jahmyr Gibbs of the world, which are also awesome. But James Conner is an excellent, excellent person for you to start. Everyone doubts him all year. In Dynasty, people wouldn't buy him for nothing. Hey, I got James Conner for a third. Nah, dude, he's old. I'm good. I'm out. Well, joke's on them because James Conner is going to win everyone a championship. If you don't start him, you're risking a huge amount of fantasy points from your running back position. And we all know running backs at this time of the year are hard to find. People are starting DeAndre Swift out there. Think about that. Think about
12.5 points last night, man.
Just think about how happy we are with 12 points from Swift. Just think about that. We are like, yes, he got us double digits. We are in the money. When in reality, Swift is a lot better player than that, and he should be Conner over Hall.
James Conner over Breece Hall. If he plays, yeah. Honestly, yeah. Have not been high on Breece Hall lately.
We spoke about Breece Hall yesterday, and the key to Breece Hall is he's going to need the receptions to be fantasy relevant this week. We broke it down yesterday where if he gets 6 or more targets, he is scoring you double-digit points, and he's going to be used in the passing game because we expect him to be down pretty early and often. At least I do against Buffalo Bills, against the Josh Allen-led Buffalo Bills. We expect a lot of dump-offs of Breece Hall, so that is viable. That is a tough question for me. Because if he comes out of that game with 8 catches, he's going to be the running back 1. Like, he's going to finish the running back 1. But if he gets shut down and Rodgers doesn't target him and Rodgers just goes to Devontae Adams every single time, then we're here for trouble. Whereas James Conner, I don't think he's ever going to be phased out of the game. I think if James Conner plays, because he hasn't been, he's been pretty much their offense. Him and McBride. Harrison's been a non-factor. Kyler's been up and down. The constant for that team is McBride, who was terrible last week, and James Conner, who's been literally the most consistent player, I would say, in the entire division minus Kyron Williams. Think about it. Think about that entire division.
I have James Conner as RB12 this week, assuming he plays tomorrow. If he doesn't, obviously that changes. And he is removed. Breece Hall I have at RB18, specifically because he is going to be target dependent. He has to get those 6 targets to get more than, I think, 15, 16 points per game. Mm-hmm. So when he does get those targets, he does get a lot. But again, they're going at Buffalo in the cold. It might be a running game, so that could lean towards Breece. That could also be a Braylon Allen game. We don't know. Like, why try to bruise up your star running back for literally no reason at all? Because you're going nowhere this season, and the Jets are going to have a complete rebuild next year. So again, why injure that one asset? And if they're going to try to play to win, then Devontae Adams, Garrett Wilson, those are going to be guys that I think they're going to target more than Breece Hall for the check down. So I would go Conner over Hall, assuming Conner plays. But obviously, if Conner doesn't play tomorrow, then you're looking at Breece Hall.
Well, that's the beautiful thing about it. You could literally wait because you will say, hey, okay, this guy's not playing on Saturday. Now your choice is made. But if he's playing Saturday, I just plug him in. I don't see a situation where I don't play Breece.
James Conner.
James Conner.
Yeah. Raphael, what's up, man? Okay, 2 wide receivers, 1 flex, Puka, Evans, Conner, Hall, Garendo, and AJ. Well, you're going to AJ. Going Evans.
You're going Evans.
Puka.
AJ.
Puka, Evans, AJ. AJ is questionable. He is questionable this week. But
without Hurts.
Without Hurts. That's a really, really good point. Good catch there. Because I almost forgot about the Hurts. What did AJ Brown do last week? He got 23 points last week still.
Yeah, I mean, they targeted him crazy amount. I think
you have to. I mean, you have to. Like, that is your safety net at this point. So,
yeah. I'm going Evans
I
for
think
sure.
I'm still going Evans, Puka, AJ for me.
Yep. I would definitely do that.
Assuming this is PPR. If it's not PPR, then I might take out. I don't know if I would still take anybody out for Connor. I don't think I'm starting Garindo. He's still potentially hurt. I think I'm still sticking with the 3.
Puka's by the way, Puka's the wide receiver 1 since week 11, by the way. Did you know that?
It's pretty good.
Pretty good. I know. Over Jamar
week
Chase.
11? What about week 10? He scored 18.8 week 10.
Right, let me filter. I only do by week 11 because I like to split it up, half and half. And
Okay.
To me, in my mind, that's half. But Jamar Chase is actually the wide receiver 1 since week 10.
Oh, he must have had a huge.
That was his 55.4 game.
Okay. Yeah,
that was for
that
sure.
checked out. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Cool.
Yeah. So
God, Jamar Chase is just so freaking good, man.
Yeah, he is. By the way, this is sidebar. Congratulations to all the people who've been telling me Jamar Chase is better than Justin Jefferson for the past 4 years, and it finally worked out for you. Seriously, hats off to you because it finally happened. I'm just looking at the numbers here, and it's amazing. Justin Jefferson's still number 2. You can't hate that at all. Justin Jefferson's still putting up the production. I would hindsight's 50-50 they say. I would still take Justin Jefferson 1-on-1 over Chase easily. Even next year, going into next year, I'm still taking Justin Jefferson over Jamar.
I think it depends on who the quarterback is. To be honest with you, I mean, do you trust JJ McCarthy to just like basically his rookie season to figure it out?
He looked really good, and I know looking good. Justin Fields looked really good in preseason. I understand that. Like I totally get that. But who says they don't? Why would they not re-sign Sam Darnold? That's my thing. Is why would they not re-sign him? He's been so good for them, and just to throw him in the trash, like, okay, you helped us out, you got us to the playoffs, you possibly got us to the conference game. Nah, we're good though. Like I just don't see that happening. There's no way in the world the Vikings don't extend him or don't bring him back unless Sam's like, peace. I'm gonna get paid $1 billion by the Raiders.
I'm gonna go make some money.
Like
I don't know. Like
I constantly just have this in my mind. Right, this is my mindset right now. The Raiders are going to stack up on Sam Darnold and T. Higgins, and it's going to be a total show. It's going to be a disaster, and I'm here for it. I cannot wait for that to happen.
But Brock Bowers.
Oh, poor Brock Bowers. I know.
What if Brock Bowers actually got a quarterback? Like, imagine how better he would even be.
That'd be fun to see, but again, is Sam Darnold successful because of the organization and because of the system they run, or is he successful because he's successful? Well, the odds are the proof is, the evidence is he's not good because we've seen him play football before this year, and he's never been this good in his entire career. Kind of like the Geno Smith situation. He just needed to find a right spot. Do we think Geno would have been Geno still if he left Seattle and went somewhere else, like saying the Raiders? I don't think he would.
Think Baker would be Baker if he wasn't on Tampa?
I don't think he would.
Exactly. So maybe this is just the Sam Darnold spot where he's going to be good in Minnesota, and that's about it. Or maybe he sat behind enough backups or enough starting quarterbacks to where he finally figured it out. But I don't know what starting quarterbacks he sat behind. Brock Purdy, Carolina. I mean, Andy Dalton, and Baker actually. No, he didn't really sit behind anybody. So
no. So this is interesting. Do you know the top 12 at each position offhand? The top 12, like top 12 receivers of the year so far. Yeah. Do you know that information yet?
I mean, do I know it off the top of my head? No.
I want to run them down.
Think about it. Could I think about it? Probably.
Can I run it down real quick? I just think it's interesting, and I want to get your thoughts on I'll start with the quarterbacks. I'll go from 12 to 1. Brock Purdy is the quarterback 12 right now in fantasy football. And this does not count any games that are played week 17 already. This does not count. This is stopping at week 16. So these will change. But going into this week, this is what it is. Kyler Murray's at our quarterback 11. Mahomes is at quarterback 10. Remember when he was terrible? Like quarterback 23? Bo Nix was 9. Sam Darnold is 8. Jared Goff is 7. Jalen Hurts is 6. Baker is 5. Jaden Daniels is 4. Joe Burrow is 3. Josh Allen is 2. And Lamar Jackson is number 1. Anything stand out to you?
Since week 11?
Oh, this is since week 1. This is literally
Week
the
1.
entire
Okay,
year.
sorry.
This
Okay.
is up until week 16.
I'm trying to figure out where you're getting your points from here.
Weekly fantasy football leaders from Fantasy Pros. It's right here. Can't miss it.
Yeah,
Do you not see what I'm looking at?
I'm looking at stats, and then Patrick Mahomes is 8, not 10.
Well, I have them. Are you sure you're weeks 1 through 16?
I'm full season, yeah.
And you have it from his game that he played Saturday. I have it through week 16, which I literally said multiple times.
Yep, you did.
multiple times. Like literally multiple times.
I'm the worst. Okay, yeah, so 10. Okay, yeah. I got that now.
Anything stand out to you though? Obviously Mahomes going to move up, but maybe not.
I mean, we don't talk about Bo Nix enough at QB 9 on the season. That's pretty good from a rookie quarterback that is not talked about enough. Obviously, Jaden Daniels definitely probably going to win Rookie of the Year. He's just been on fire, completely turned around the Commanders organization. But yeah, I don't think enough people talk about Bo Nix enough. Brock Purdy still being in QB 12 for the disastrous end of the season he's had is pretty telling. CJ Stroud sitting at QB 18 is telling.
It's telling because he lost. I think if Diggs was there, he'd be a little bit more usable right now. But man, CJ Stroud has fallen off a cliff, and his dynasty value has just died. You can get him for pennies on the dollar at the moment. Okay, let's go to the running backs in PPR, Justin. If you're going to follow along, make sure you get that PPR. Don't be like, I don't know, bro. Like this guy. Gus Edwards is way higher than you have him.
You're talking about running backs, right?
Yeah, running backs. So number 12, Chuba Hubbard.
That's a big one right there.
That's gonna haunt me.
Chuba actually saved my entire season in my home league. I struggled probably for the first 8-9 weeks not having a running back, like period. Like I did not draft a running back, and that really started to hurt. Then I managed to get Chuba right before Jonathan Brooks was coming back. I traded with our friend Jacob and sent him a package for Chuba, and the package I sent him, they all got injured. So I walked away with that trade looking good. And then I got Gibbs. I sent Kenneth Walker and I think George Pickens for Gibbs. And that turned my season around because Kenneth Walker and George Pickens had been injured for most of the time since I sent them that way. Gibbs and Hubbard completely saved a season for me.
So my La Liga record, the one I care about apparently the most, I drafted CMC 1, but late Chuba Hubbard. Week 1, he scored 1.4, and Miles Sanders was getting carries, and I dropped him. And he was picked up immediately on waivers, and I regret everything. I regret everything. Miles Sanders was getting carries, bro. Like, come on.
That sucks.
Number 11, Chase Brown. Number 10, James Cook. Number 9, James Conner. 8, Kyron Williams. 7, Alvin Kamara. Still doing it, man. Crazy. 6, Josh Jacobs. 7, Achane. 4, Derrick Henry. 3, Bijan Robinson. 2, Jahmyr Gibbs. And number 1, we all know Saquon Barkley. Number 1 by far. Just pretty much any surprises besides Chuba?
Chase Brown at the 11. A lot of people were going in the drafts drafting either Chase Brown or Zach Moss. They weren't sure. This is the first year since with no Joe Mixon in a long time. So obviously Joe Mixon has been a top 10 running back for the Bengals for a while. So losing him and leaning on a guy who barely saw in Zach Moss, who played decent in Indy when called upon. Chase Brown, I think, exceeded expectations. If I were to guess, his ADP was probably in like RB 27, 28, 29. And he's came around to be a RB1 on your fantasy team.
Oh yeah.
And you probably actually got him paired with an already top 12 running back because of how late you could draft him.
Yep. That's him and Chuba, both of them. You already have that running back one. If all worked out, I would have had CMC and Chuba. And that would have been nice, but it didn't work out that way. All right, the wide receiver position. This, to me, Guys, this is all gonna change next week because there's guys on this top 12 list that are gonna fall off. Number 1 being number 12, Jerry Judy.
Yeah, he's definitely falling.
He's definitely gonna fall off,
How was he
unfortunately.
12? Oh my god.
Jameis.
Good lord.
Jameis. That's it. That was it. Those special weeks with Jameis are gonna get him.
I cannot believe he is 12. Oh my god, 40 and a half.
Yeah, people are going to draft him next year thinking, because that's what happens. You guys go, not you guys, all of us. We all go into all right, what happened last year? Oh, Judy was great. But you don't realize those were all because of Jameis. Look at all the games he had with Watson. Look at the games he has with DTR. It's all Jameis, man. Number 11, Devontae Adams, which is surprising because he came on late. Malik Neighbors, number 10, hanging on. He's hanging on, just being consistent right now. Number 10, Drake London, number 9. Garrett Wilson, number 8. JSN, number 7. Brian Thomas Jr., number 6. That is a shock to a lot of people.
No, the real shock is who's sitting at 5. Who was that?
Terry McLaurin, number 5.
Just like we all drew up.
Yep. We all knew. CD Lamb, number 4. Amon-Ra, Sun God, number 3. JJ, Justin Jefferson, 2. And, of course, Jamar Chase. Numero uno. And the surprising to me is like Mike Evans and Tyreek off this list, but Mike Evans was injured. He missed a couple of games. I understand. But Tyreek, no excuse.
Dude, Tyreek, 18. That's behind Lad McConkey, Zay Flowers, Cortland Sutton, DJ Moore. That's awful. I'm looking at Malik Neighbors, 220.1 fantasy points on the season. To fall outside the top 12, that's going to require several. Devontae Adams could potentially outscore him this week. Jerry Jeudy is not going to. It would require A.J. Brown and DJ Moore has already played. We already know what he scored. Cortland Sutton would have to outscore Malik Neighbors by 17, and A.J. Brown would have to outscore him by 16. And we're talking Cortland Sutton could be potential, but Malik Neighbors against the Colts, A.J. Brown with a backup quarterback. I think Malik Neighbors is going to end up a top 12 wide receiver on the season.
Yeah, he should. Speaking about Jalen Hurts being out, we have a question in the chat, Justin.
Yeah, looking like Hurts is out, so need a QB. These are the options. A-Rod, Tua, Bryce, May, and Penix. I'm going Bryce or May.
Yeah, we talked about this yesterday. Bryce Young is playing the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay Buccaneers are horrendous. Their secondary is one of the worst in the league. Although it's been a lot better recently in the past 3 weeks. They have only given up 218 passing yards a game compared to their season-long stat of 250 yards a game they give up. It's a divisional game. It's a revenge game in some sort. You know, their offensive coordinator from years now is the head coach over there in Carolina. He does want to beat them. That's a huge storyline over here. So they definitely want to get that revenge game going on. I wouldn't mind Bryce. To me, it's going to come down to Bryce or May. Tua's playing in that weather, and I just don't trust Rodgers. Rodgers doesn't look like he wants to be there. Rodgers looks like he wants to go home. Rodgers looks like me at 3:30 at my desk, just like, all right, come on. Why, just clicking buttons, click clacking, wasting time till the damn clock hits 5.
It's weird to say this, but I'm definitely going to go with Bryce Young here, going up against Tampa Bay. They've been playing hot. Tampa's going to have to win, so they're going to want to score a bunch. Yeah, Bryce Young might be sitting at QB 26 right now, but Bryce Young has been killing it the last couple of weeks. Fantasy points were like 27.1 against Arizona. They got an easy matchup this week. I'm going Bryce Young on this one.
Especially
weird to say.
Especially if you can get those rushing yards, 68 rushing yards last week. He had 12 the week before, but if he can get you that 20 to 40 rushing yard stat line, that's pretty good. That's what I'd be aiming for. So he has it right. Bryce subbed in now and May on the bench. Dude, he must listen. He must know.
Yeah, May's got the Chargers too, so that's a much harder matchup.
Oh, yeah.
Even being at home. I mean, I guess at home, the Chargers literally have to travel the entire country just to get to that game, but
it's super annoying that Hurts went down. Trust me, dude. I know.
It's not great. It's not great.
All right, let's go back to the
wide receivers
ranking. Sure. Why not? Why not go? Brock Bowers number 1. Shocking. Oh, he is number 1. All right, number 12, Zach Ertz, old man Ertz. He has not scored. He has not scored over 8 points in fantasy in the past 3 weeks total combined. Like that's
Hanging
crazy.
on.
And he's
He's
still
hanging
there
on.
at number 12. K. Dotton, you could probably say the same thing for K. Dotton, hanging on at number 11.
He's
He's
injured, so he won't even play this week.
so he's gonna fall out of the top 12 for sure. Sam Laporta, he's still sticking in there at 10, but that's not where you drafted him at. You drafted him to be a number 1 or 2. Literally, you didn't draft him to be a top 10 tight end. That's a very huge disappointment for Sam Laporta. Hunter Henry is a tight end 9 right now. Tucker Kraft is a tight end 8 at the moment. David Njoku, number 7. There's a guy named Mark Andrews who's at 6. He's alive. Travis Kelce at 5. He had a big game too, so he's definitely going to jump up. Jonnu Smith, numero 4. I cannot believe that. That's awesome. Trey McBride 3, George Kittle 2, and Brock Bowers as a tight end 1.
Trey McBride at tight end 3 with 0 touchdowns this season.
Yep.
0 touchdowns.
Yeah.
92 receptions, 0 touchdowns.
That's right. That's what you said.
That's crazy.
It is.
That is crazy. Like, I mean, go down the list and look at the next top guy without a reception touchdown is sitting at tight end 20, and that's Taysom Hill. And then Jake Ferguson at 22.
So let me rewind. Let me rewind back to 2021 and tell you a tale.
Oh my God, here we go.
About a rookie tight end who only scored 1 touchdown, actually. He had 110 catches, or 110 targets, 68 catches, 1,026 receiving yards, and 1 touchdown. And that touchdown did not happen on American soil. I only know that because I rostered Kyle Pitts in every single league that I played in 2021. And he got criticized for it. Oh, he can't do this. He's not elite. He can't score touchdowns. He's such a disappointment. Well, that year he was the tight end 6. And he had 1,000 yards. And that's very difficult to do as a rookie. And I didn't understand the criticism. Well, that being said, he has fallen off a damn cliff since, as we all know, we don't need to go down this road. But how come Mr. Trey McBride's not getting the same criticisms as Mr. Kyle Pitts for not scoring touchdowns? He hasn't even reached 1,000 yards yet. Well, he will. Let's not fake that. He's going to reach 1,000 yards. But you can argue that season from Kyle Pitts was just as good as this season from Trey McBride. But yet people say Kyle Pitts is bad. He's this, he's that. He's a disappointment. The man had 1,000 yards, something Trey McBride's never done. I'm not defending Kyle Pitts. Screw that guy. I'm never drafting him ever again. That's because of his usage. But I just wanted to throw that out there. There's no analyst there. There's no context there. I'm just pissed off about it.
So 3 more games than Trey McBride has played. Kyle Pitts
so far
had a total of not even 100 more receiving yards that season. Trey McBride has 958 so far in 14 games. Kyle Pitts had 1,026 in 17 games. He had 100
as a rookie. Trey's not a rookie. Trey's not a rookie, by the way.
You're okay. Totally fair. But again, 3 games left. Or 3 games less at this point. Trey McBride has had 120 targets, which is out definitely way more than Kyle Pitts. And he also has almost 30 more receptions. So it is kind of weird that he hasn't hit that 1,000 yard mark. But he does have 24 more points than Kyle Pitts does.
Yeah, so. I know. Well, hey, I'm just saying, if Kyle Pitts was put in that situation, will we think about him differently? It's the same thing we were talking about Sam Darnold.
Yeah, that's definitely interesting. That I don't know that I would probably continue to be like, oh yeah, Trey McBride, don't draft him. Like Trey McBride has shown it more than 1 year. Kyle Pitts has shown it 1 single year.
His rookie year.
Yeah. And Trey McBride didn't show up his rookie year. And then finished as tight end 7 and now tight end 3 so far. So
this is nothing against Trey McBride. We all know I love Trey McBride.
We all know you hate Trey McBride. So
oh yeah, last week I hate him. Last week he screwed me big time. If he would have scored like maybe 5 more points last week and Jalen Hurts never got hurt, life would be so much better. I'm just saying.
So I want to play projection game here with you for the tight end position.
Okay.
Sam Laporta is currently at 142.9 points. And with the games that have been played right now, he is sitting at tight end 11 with the Steelers playing that bumped Pat Freiermuth up to 9. Does he finish in the top 12?
Sam Laporta.
We have Sam Laporta. Does he finish top 12? Kate Otten has 140.6. He's not playing this week, so that's safe. Zach Ertz has 136.8. That would require Zach Ertz to score 6.2 points more than Sam Laporta this week.
And there's no one else.
Does Sam Laporta stay as a... And actually, that would also require Kyle Pitts to score a lot. So, yeah, actually, Sam Laporta, the worst he can finish is a tight end 12 this season. So, he does finish as a top tight end.
Yeah, he's gonna finish as a top 12 tight end. But again, that's not where you drafted him. Brock Bowers is sitting at 233 points total, 15.5 points per game, which is interesting. We had the same argument last year with Sam Laporta and Travis Kelce. Kelce averaged more fantasy points per game, but Laporta finished with more. George Kittle right now averages more than Brock Bowers per game, but Brock Bowers is number one. So really, who is the number one guy? We'll leave that to you guys up to.
Very interesting how that has worked out too. With George Kittle being a superstar, Brock Bowers the rookie. It's interesting. Jonnu Smith currently sits at tight end 5 on the season. Kelsey's at his lowest point since his rookie season at tight end 4 with 195.4 points.
He had 22 points this week though, already banked.
I'm including these points this week. So Jonnu is 3.3 points behind him. Does Kelsey fall to 5 this week? He can't fall to 6. Mark Andrews cannot score 20. Well, if Mark Andrews scores 23 points, he does. But
I just don't see Travis Kelce jumping Jonnu. Jonnu's going to score 3 points. Jonnu has never not scored 3 points this year. He actually hit a 0 in week 4. And he had a 3.8 game in week 3. Other than that, he's been, I mean, we're not counting week 1. He wasn't.
So we're looking at least tight end 5 for Travis Kelce. Does Mark Andrews has already played. Never mind.
You can't jump him.
It can't happen. Njoku would have to score a ton.
Yeah. Travis Kelce's going to sit there at tight end 5?
5, which is the worst he's been since 2015 when he was tight end 9. He's been 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and currently 4.
9 years ago. Think about that. 9 years ago. Travis Kelce was dominating.
Do you even know what you were doing in 2015?
Yeah. A bunch of nothing. A bunch of.
I was getting married in 2015. Like that was. Whew.
Yeah, I was probably moving out of my serious girlfriend's house at that time, and then I met my wife. So yeah, that was a whole marriage ago. He's not been in the number 1 or he was number 2 last year. It is what it is. So I like that game.
Since he has been outside the top 3, really. So
we need to do this game more often lately, but we are up against it, guys. Thank you everyone so much for watching all season long, not just today, all season long. We hit our goal. We hit our sub goal. We'd like to go more. We'd like to be higher, but we'll work on that in the off season. We're not leaving you. This isn't the last show of the year. Well, actually, it is. It's 27th. But it's the last show of the regular season. We'll be here in the off season. We'll be putting out shorts. We'll be putting out content. Don't worry. We're not going away. And we're going to have something new for you guys. So keep a lookout for that. Brand new everything. It's going to be amazing. We're upgrading. I think you're going to enjoy it. Justin, it's been a blast all season, man. I'm really still mad at you for beating me, but that's okay. It's fine. We'll move on. Hope you guys win your championships this weekend. Peace out.
Thanks for listening. Be sure to like and subscribe wherever you watch or listen to podcasts. Follow on X and Instagram at OUSFFPOD. We'll be back next week for more ways to win your league.